What's up, guys? Just another video of me working on this piece of junk. Hey, let's check out something exciting before we get to the truck. Check it out. I got it back. There she is, all 61 inches of it. This is head level with me right here. So, I'll be putting that baby in. But there's another reason I don't want to put it in yet either. Because what I am doing is connecting all the wires and air hoses from the frame stretch that I did. And if that drive shaft was in there, it would make it awful inconvenient for my butt to get in between these frame rails and do any of this. So I'm just going to leave that out until all this stuff is back together. And just cross my fingers that it fits, because I really don't need any other problems on this truck. Alright, so right now, just a little update. This is what we're working on. We're swearing and yelling and screaming and throwing stuff through windows and you know, all that fun stuff, because I got to get this PT pump out of this piece of junk. This is why I'm a cat guy. Out of this piece of junk, because it doesn't have good throttle response, and I got to rebuild it, needless to say. And I made a wrench, and so far I had to drop the power steering pump. There's a lot of you guys out there that are gonna say you don't have to drop the power steering pump on these, and I've watched some videos on these where the guys don't, but this one here is special. This one's got some kind of spacer on it to where the other ones that I see in the video don't, and the power steering pump sits right about there, and there's literally no way to get it out unless you drop it. So I must have like the only truck in the world that has that, but yeah, lucky me, right? I always get the good ones. So right now we're working on getting this back bolt out right here, and it is a nightmare. So I'm gonna keep wrenching on this, and we'll get back when I make some progress. So just a little update on the Cummins pump for the... So this is how I'm making out on the PT pump for the 400 Cummins on the old green truck here. Not very good. I got the entire thing rebuilt, all new gaskets, ready to go, except there's one thing. So this shaft goes in here, which drives from the air compressor. So this is what the shaft is supposed to look like. It comes with a new bearing, but you have to reuse the old sleeve and the old gear. Well, I joined a few Cummins forums on Facebook here and asked, how do you get this thing apart? You know, I mean, I know there's a lot of ways: heat it up, press, so on and so forth. And everybody says, oh, they come right apart easy. You just put them in a vise, hit them with a hammer. I got people that say you put them in a press, they come right apart. No problem, except for mine. Actually, both of the ones that I have. Let me explain. So the first one, let's get this one right out of the way. I don't even know where all of it is, but anyway. Here's the first one here. I don't know where oh, here it is. The first one, I tried for about 3 hours to get it apart. I had a 3/8 bolt in here, and I had this in the vise, and I was beating it and beating it and beating it and beating it. Then I heated up with the torches just a little bit, didn't get it too hot. Beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it. Couldn't get it out. And then I ended up ruining the splines on here, so now that it won't go in the shaft. So now this is junk anyway. So I ended up heating it red hot. By this time I was pretty pissed off. I ended up heating this thing glowing cherry red, and still beat it with a big hammer. Could not get the thing off for nothing. I don't know what's going on. I knew it was ruined. Luckily, I bought this spare PT pump at that junkyard there where the other truck sits. That's on one of my videos. And I managed to get this one off of it. So I figured, okay, I don't have a press. I'm just going to bring it to somebody with a press. It should just pop right off. Yeah. So I brought it to a local shop. They had a 20-ton press. And Well, there ain't no sense in hiding it because you probably already seen it. And yeah, so needless to say, this thing was in there. They had 3/8 bolt through that, you know, just like I was told on the forums, and had like 25 tons. I don't know, that thing was maxed right out, and this thing exploded, and this piece here went right through the wall. You know, guys, it really pays. Wear safety glasses and safety shields and stuff like that, because the one thing that I can say out of this, it really sucks that this is ruined, because I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm just glad nobody got hurt, because it could have went right through somebody. And I'm just glad nobody got hurt, because I tell you what, this thing exploded. This thing here went flying like a bullet, and all the other things on the press went flying. So, you know, it's always good to take safety measures seriously. But anyway, I'm kind of up shit creek with no paddle, but I have one more hope left. I'm going to bring this to the machine shop today. Here's my plan. I'm going to hope and pray that they have something at the actual machine shop to get this sleeve off right here. Just this sleeve. That's all I need. And then I have my new shaft. I'm going to hope that this gear is still good enough to use. I mean, all it does is run the governor, the flyball governor here. So it's not like a transmission gear. So it should be fine. I have the new bearing. So as long as they can get that shaft off and then press all this stuff on the new thing for me, I should be in good shape. That's what I think anyway. I have no idea how it's going to happen. But if that doesn't work, I'm freaking screwed, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with this pump. So guess we're going to catch up then. Alright, so I am back from the machine shop. I dropped the drive shaft down there. I dropped the drive shaft off down there for the Orange International, and I asked them while I was down there if they could fix this. And they sure did. He said he had a hell of a time getting this piece off. I see where he had to heat it up. He said he had to cut the old shaft off with the broken gear on it and put this in a lathe and bore the inside of it out in order to get this old shaft out. And I mean, I waited for it. It took a good hour, so he definitely had a hard time taking it off. And it wasn't just a simple put a 3/8 bolt in here and pop it out like everybody said. I have no idea why. I don't know. I mean, everybody, like, I probably had about 15-20 people say that's how it's done. And of course, the two that I had, here's all the old parts, they don't come off that way apparently. So mine don't. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, I got this together. Man, that guy saved my ass. I tell you what a lifesaver. So now I can finish putting this pump together and hopefully get that freaking truck running, man. This thing's been sitting around for months, needs to get running. Alright, here we are. Got this pump all back in, got the power steering pump all back in, and put a bunch of fuel in the fuel filter and got everything primed, got all the wires hooked back up. The only thing that's not hooked up is the Jake switch and the kickdown cable, but this is just to see if this thing will run. I still got some more stuff to put together. Got to put the steering shaft back in and all that yet. Alright, after all this work and 2 months of not running, let's see if this thing will even start, or I'm going to have to bring it to the junkyard. like we don't have any oil pressure. I don't know if that gauge works. Probably don't. I don't know how much oil pressure one of these Cummins are supposed to have. Probably at idle. Imagine more than that, but I don't know. Still seems a little bit logy, but it's a little cold yet, so. Got this drive shaft in. Nice drive shaft they built for me. Got that in. All the air lines are all plumbed in. The other day I mounted the hydraulic tank, got that ready. Got all those air lines all plumbed, got all the wires soldered. Did a real nice job. I got these plates of steel here. I got a tack on the top till we're at the dump box right on, but it's getting there. Got the exhaust all finished up. I got taillights for it today. I know I haven't been filming a lot of this. I've just been trying to get it done, and the weather around here has been real crappy lately. We had a lot of that smoke and stuff from the fires in Canada and all the you know, all the rain and everything we've been having. It's just been like a mad rush. Anytime I get a chance to work on this thing, it's been a mad rush, and just I just haven't filmed it because it just, I'm trying not to take any more time. I mean, this truck, I've had this truck about 6-7 months now, and it still sits in the same spot it did. And I got to get this thing on the road. Hopefully within the next week or so. I'm hoping. I don't know, but nothing at all has been going right on this truck. Everything I do on this thing has been nothing but just a major project, major hassle. Everything I touch just turns into a big, huge project, just bigger than anything. So everything just seems like it's taken so long on this truck, and I still don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I mean, man, I just, hopefully I didn't bite off more than I can chew on this one. The throttle response is definitely better, and it actually started without putting 3 cans of ether through it. So whatever issue was wrong with it, I think it's fixed now. Most of those O-rings and stuff in the injection pump that I took apart were bad and cracked, and there was a lot of bad parts in there that I replaced. And there you go again. I didn't film that because that was like a real involved process, and you know, I just didn't want to get distracted with the camera and all that. But yeah, I know, right? Excuses, but here she is. Seems to run really good. I guess the real test is going to be if it sits for a couple weeks and starts right back up, but I guess we'll find out then when the time comes. Hopefully the next video you guys see of this thing, it'll be on the road and driving around and all that stuff, so one could only hope.